Hello and welcome to the V1 review. This is 8747 Visorak Suukorak, released in the winter or summer of 2005, depending what country you ever released, depending what country you're from. So yep, so we are continuing with the next wave of canister sets. Depending what country you're from, it's either the Toa Hordika or the Visorak. Here in Europe, UK is where I am, but that counts as part of Europe, so I would say here it was the Visorak, because in Europe the Visorak came in the winter of 2005, so I'm just going to go with that. Rather than in the US, it was the Toa Hordika. So interesting. I didn't really know there was actually a difference between the time certain sets were released, so good job I knew that just before this video, just before filming this review, about last week or so. But anyway, I knew it in advance, so that's good. But either way, so we are here with the Visorak. Of course, the Visorak are the main antagonists of the 2005. Well, the main antagonist force of the 2005 storyline, having taken over Metru Nui after Makuta Teridax's defeat at the hands of the Toa Metru at the end of during the Great Cataclysm. Of course, the Visorak Horde are under the control of Sidorak and Roodaka. Of course, Sidorak's the king and Roodaka is the soon-to-be queen. But either way, the Visorak take over the Coliseum. They turn it into their base, and in doing so, they now control Metru Nui, and it's now under their occupation. Of course, the city is now under their control, and eventually it gets taken back by the Toa Metru, which are mutated by the Visorak into the Toa Hordika, and eventually Vakama, having usurped control of the Visorak Horde, tells them they are free, and so the Horde disbands, and that marks the end of one of the most powerful armies in the Matoran universe. But either way, so yep, this is Visorak Suukorak, one of the 6 types that make up the Visorak Horde, which are of course the powerful spider-like creatures that have taken over Metru Nui. So here he is. This is Visorak Suukorak here. So first, let's get to the canister. So we've got Visorak Suukorak there with the Metru Nui skyline in the background. You see that across 2005. Anyway, so there it is. You've got the name, bionicle.com. www.bionicle.com. You've got the Visorak Suukorak there in Metru. Lego, the set number. Interesting enough, at the top here we do have a spare Ratuka spinner, so if you lose one, that's good, you've got an extra. And you've got the Keetongu club code, which is SU4 plus the code on the Ratuka. The Ratuka function, it can go 15 meters or 50 feet. That's the furthest it can go. That's pretty impressive. And there we have it. So that is the canister. Right, so now onto the set. So this is Visorak Suukorak. Again, this is the white Visorak. There are 6 types, of course. And, well, the functions are as follows. We have, if you push on the back of the head, the pinchers will open and close, the venom pinchers, which they use to mutate the Toa into Toa Hordika, the Toa Metru and the Toa Hordika. So, we have that. So that's a pretty cool function, and that is activated by a rubber band which goes in between the pinchers. And so if you press down on the back of the head here where the Ratuka is, the pinchers will open and close, and that is a fantastic function. So there it is. The next function, of course, is the Ratuka spinner. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the whip cord and we just insert it in here, and of course you can launch the Ratuka at the Toa Hordika, or anyone that gets in their way. So there it is. That's pretty cool. The Ratuka is silver, and it does have a code as shown on the box, on the canister, and of course in combination with the Keetongu club code. Is it the bio code? I don't think they have bio codes at this point. No, I've only got SU4 plus the Ratuka code, and you would enter that onto bionicle.com. So that's the service. That's the purpose this serves. You'll see it comes with 2 silver Ratuka, because the one in the canister, which which is nice. They give you an extra, but it is also a silver Roodaka. And to get in there, what you would do is you twist the lid to open the canister, and then you get your fingers in here, pull on these tabs, and then you can see another silver Roodaka inside. So that's pretty cool. If you lose one, you got an extra. So that's pretty cool. It's nice that he did that. By the way, that's it for the canister. Let's put that to the side. And let's get to the construction. Right, so of course, new pieces, as far as new pieces are concerned, you have the two Visorak pinchers here, the Suukorak pinchers in silver, which is pretty cool. You've got the Visorak head in white, and this is the Suukorak head. They all have individual heads, I mean unique heads. And you can see this one's got like a fin here, and it's got two blue Visorak eyes that attach in light blue. This is where you attach the Roodaka spinner, and this yellow piece here, so it goes on there like that, and you can launch it off. Some good detail on that piece, looks pretty cool. And this is all attached by a few Technic pieces, and this long Technic piece, which attaches the whole body, which connects the whole body together. So I don't know if this is used, this is probably from Lego Technic, not Bionicle, but all the Visorak are built with this one long piece here that attaches everything together. So that's that piece. And then of course on this leg here you have two Visorak limbs in Mata Blue. I think that's Mata Blue. Or is it Metru Blue? Either way, you have two Visorak limbs in blue, one of the blues. You've got two connector pieces, and that attaches to a Visorak foot, which is one of the new pieces, which looks pretty cool, and you've got that on either side. And then this connects to, well, you've got a few other Technic pieces here. You've got the rubber band, of course, and some pins. This connects to this long white piece here, which is the Visorak limb, and this piece would be very useful in the future. So that is the new. These are the new pieces introduced with the Visorak foot piece here, and what connects everything together here is the Visorak limb. So you've got the Visorak limb in white, then you've got the Visorak foot, the Visorak limb, and then the connector piece, or the hand piece for the early days of Bionicle, and then you've got the Visorak foot. So that's pretty cool. And then you've got this piece, which we saw on the Vaki in white, and this leads to a Visorak limb in blue. You've got the Toa Metru knee cover in white, which leads to a Metru limb in white, another hand piece, and another Visorak foot. So that's all the pieces, so that's pretty cool. You're getting a lot of cool pieces, and of course you've got the two light blue Visorak parts, which are pretty successful, which work quite well. So pretty cool looking set. As for the articulation, you have 2 points in the legs, like so. There you go. And at the back here, given that the rear legs are longer than the front legs, you have a joint here, a joint in the middle, and a joint at the foot. So there's 3 points in this leg. So you've got more articulation at the back than at the front, which makes for an interesting look. Now, the interesting thing about that is each Visorak, you can see with the instructions here, you've got the same image on the front there, which looks pretty cool. On the back we have the 2004 Titans and an advertisement for Legends of Metru Nui. And on the front, inside, you've got the Coliseum there, and the Visorak occupation of Metru Nui. And you can see the cocoons that they've held the Toa Hordika in. And there's them firing a Roodaka spinner. That's pretty cool. There's also a combination model advertised in here, which is for the Kagorak, which is like the Super Visorak. And you need Bogorak and Suukorak to make that one. Interesting enough, as you can see there, just like in the advert, the canister is black. But if you remember, my one is white. So that's an interesting one. You can see it's white around the sides. There's that as well. Just interesting I wanted to point out. And of course, being this year's wave of canister sets, this wave being the canister sets of this wave, here they are. So we've got Visorak, Unarak, Bogorak, Roparak, Keetongu, and Suukorak, all of which appeared in Web of Shadows, of course, Bionicle 3 Web of Shadows. And interesting enough, they all use different leg construction. As you can see, we've got the Mata limbs for some of them, and you've got Metru limb. So you've got Meta limb, Metru limb, And then here you got Vaki limb and Borok limb. And so they all have slightly different leg construction. You've got Vaki limb there, Vaki limb there. This one uses the Metru limb for the leg, for the back leg, but it uses a Borok limb for the front. So in that case, it's more like Unarak. So interesting there. So there's all the different types. And then after that, we have the last wave of canister sets, the Vaki. Well, that's if you go by the European release, which is winter 2005. The Vaki came out in summer 2004. Otherwise, these guys came out in the US in the summer. So that would mean the Toa Hordika were the last wave. But here, these are the last wave. Here in the UK and Europe. So there you have it. Now, arguably, I would say Vaki Nurak, the last canister set we looked at, has more going on than this guy. You can do more with the Vaki, with the transformation and everything, than you can with the Visorak. And you see the Visorak, they are quite low to the ground, and they do have quite weird leg construction. I'm not really sure. They've got some really small front legs and some really large back legs. I don't know if that is a good look, and they are quite limited. You can't really do a lot with the Visorak, but you do have the pinchers and the Ratuka. They are unique. They are, of course, spider-like creatures. Of course, they look very spider-like, and they are pretty cool. But I do prefer the Vaki overall because of the transformation and their bipedal and quadruple modes. So, yeah. But either way, that is Visorak Suukorak. So join me next time. Overall, it's a good set. It looks cool. Of course, the Visorak are quite cool. Yeah, they play a big part in the 2005 storyline, and they do appear later on. And yeah, so they are a pretty cool antagonistic force. They look cool. The pinches are great action. The Ratuka spin is awesome until you lose it, but at least this one comes with an extra one. And overall, it's got a very cool looking design, but I do prefer the Vaki, to be honest. The Vaki you can do more with. I mean, you can pose this guy, but unless he's not capturing a Toa, there's not much you can do with it. Whereas with the Vaki, you have the staffs and everything, so yeah. But these are still pretty cool sets to have. So I definitely recommend getting one of these. The Visorak are pretty cool. Definitely the best canister sets for 2005. Except the next ones, which we'll be looking at, which is the special edition sets, for which I only have one. Join me next time for Toa Runi, the Bionicle special edition set for the Toa Hordika there. Yep, thanks for watching. See you all day. Bye for now.